Sleep guilt is the kind of modern moral dilemma that could only exist in a society where people are both drowning in wellness advice and also stuck in schedules that demand permanent overachievement. Most people know, deeply, viscerally, that they're not getting enough sleep. They've heard it from doctors, apps, podcasts, and that one smug friend who bought a fancy sleep tracker and now talks like a circadian evangelist. And yet, they don't act. They stay up too late, they doom scroll, they binge shows, they work into the night, and they somehow convince themselves that 5 hours is fine, as long as there's coffee. This isn't ignorance. It's psychological gridlock. Welcome to the anxious purgatory of knowing better and doing worse. At the core of sleep guilt is cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable mental clash that happens when your beliefs contradict your behavior. You believe sleep is vital, that it keeps your body functioning, your mind sharp, your emotions stable. You may even have read studies linking sleep deprivation to everything from metabolic syndrome to memory loss to premature death. But you also believe that there's just not enough time to do what you need to do. Work late, catch up on texts, squeeze in a little me time, or spiral in existential dread while staring at the ceiling fan. The result is a population of overtired people who are fully aware of the consequences and yet routinely defer bedtime like it's some optional luxury, not a non-negotiable biological need. Part of the problem is cultural. Sleep, particularly in hustle-driven economies like the United States or South Korea, is subtly framed as indulgent, even selfish. We praise people who wake up early to work out or respond to emails at 2 a.m., while those who sleep in are viewed with quiet suspicion. Sleep is seen not as maintenance, but as idleness. It's the thing you do after everything else is done if there's time. For many, sleeping early feels like giving up the night too soon, like admitting you didn't get everything done. So people delay it, sacrificing rest for productivity theater, only to wake up groggy, resentful, and still behind. Psychologically, the guilt has layers. There's guilt for not getting enough sleep, then guilt for wasting time the night before, then guilt for being tired and irritable the next day. And then, the most ironic twist of all, when people do try to sleep early, they often lie awake, their brains rehearsing their to-do list or reviewing past failures, which creates more frustration and further delay. This leads to what researchers call bedtime procrastination, a behavior that isn't rooted in insomnia per se, but in a subtle rebellion against routine and a desperate need to feel in control of one's time. For many people, late-night hours are the only truly uninterrupted moments of autonomy. Kids are asleep, emails have stopped, bosses aren't pinging. And so, rather than going to bed, people seek small pleasures. Scrolling, watching, gaming, reading. These aren't just distractions. They're psychological compensation for the rest of the day, which may have felt rushed, rigid, or externally controlled. Ironically, the very thing meant to restore you becomes a battleground for unresolved emotions, missed opportunities, and overstimulation. Then there's the anxious achiever trap, the belief that sleeping less means doing more. This is especially common among students, parents, entrepreneurs, and anyone working multiple jobs. For these people, sleep can feel like a betrayal of responsibility. They know it's healthy, but they also know their deadlines won't move, their kids still need breakfast at 6:30 a.m., and the world isn't going to pause while they nap. So they grind, then crash, then apologize to themselves at 3 p.m. over their third espresso. Rinse and repeat. The technology layer makes things worse. Phones and screens not only disrupt circadian rhythms with blue light, they also overload the brain with stimuli at a time when it should be winding down. But people often justify it. I need to relax somehow. And who could argue? The irony is that people delay sleep in the name of unwinding, only to sabotage the very rest that would have actually made them feel better. It's a paradox powered by poor habits, overstimulation, and a lack of viable alternatives. Fixing sleep guilt isn't just about better discipline, it's about confronting the underlying dissonance between what people know and what they feel. People need to reframe sleep not as a passive luxury, but as an active investment in their effectiveness, mood, and decision-making. But more importantly, they need permission. Cultural permission to rest. Social permission to log off. Internal permission to prioritize a biological need over a never-ending task list. The next time someone says, I know I should be sleeping more, they probably really mean, I know I need it, but I don't know how to give myself permission. And maybe the solution starts there, not with lavender oils or productivity hacks, but with a radical, uncomfortable act of self-kindness, deciding that sleep is not what you do after life is done. It's what allows you to live it in the first place.